in real history. John Brown was never apprehended, tried, or convicted or punished for anything having to do with those killings. But we've created a little alternative history here, and we're assuming that in fact he was caught and is being tried for his role in those killings.
We believe that John Brown masterminded and carried out this murder to terrorize and intimidate other citizens of Kansas in support of his political goals. And so we will be asking the jury to render a verdict of death.
In 1855, John Brown and his sons made it out to Kansas to help join what was going on out there on the abolitionist side. John Brown was really active in the Underground Railroad, and he had some childhood experiences that made him very sympathetic to the plight of the African American in the United States. And what he wanted to do was come out and help. There were groups that eventually were called the Border Ruffians and the Guerrillas, and those were the Missourians. And then from the other side, you had the people called the Jayhawkers, and they would come over and they created something in Missouri called the Burnt Region. They just completely annihilated entire towns. It was like the Nazis going through Germany. They just took people out completely. Things that had been there weren't there any longer. And on the Missouri side, they went over, they weren't able to completely ravage towns in the same exact way, but they were able to burn Lawrence twice and to terrify people into just going back home and not staying out there. There were a lot of murders on both sides.
I think it will be one of the challenges of the trial to present it in a way that this, murder is murder regardless of, what the purpose was. I mean, these 5 men were dragged out of their homes in the middle of the night and, stabbed with swords and shot for the express purpose of intimidating other people to either leave Kansas or to be quieter about their views. So, from a modern day perspective, yes, if you're politically correct, then, we should say that maybe the murder was justified. But I think the argument that we will try to present is that, murder is wrong, even if it is for a political purpose. No matter how valid that purpose is, you can't take the law into your own hands.
Yeah. Is killing justifiable as a response to something as evil as human slavery? And that is a question I think that the defense is going to raise throughout the case is, well, was this conduct something that can fairly be justified? Is it something for which he should be found criminally responsible, or is it something that, awful as it may have seemed, was necessary, a necessary response to a horrible evil, an evil that was built into the American government at the time?
It's about our history here in mid-Missouri that I think a lot of people don't know about. And it's about our history as America. And then it also ties in modern law, and it'll really get you thinking, what do you really think about the actions that people take?